Last week, I did my annual Zulrah video, and we found out that in 2024, Zulrah is just sad. But it's not just Zulrah that I do every single year. We always have to compare it to Vorkath ever since it came out. And 2024 is no different. There's new items we got to test out down at the Dollar Dragon. So let's get into it. Right, you guys saw it last week, the Zulrah video. Every year I do a Zulrah video, okay? And then, ever since it came out, I've been testing Vorkath against Zulrah. For years and years and years, I just did not want to let go. I always wanted Zulrah to be better money per hour than Vorkath is. But in recent years, Vorkath has taken the cake. It's upsetting considering Zulrah was my favorite boss, but what can you do about it? Last week, we tested out Zulrah in 2024, and today, we're going to be testing out Vorkath in 2024. I'm going to give it a test in Max Melee, the new setup with the Altor ring that we didn't have last year, as well as the Void Waker for the special attack. Normally, you use a Brimstone ring because you don't actually get a max hit with a Berserker ring in this setup, but with the Altor ring, I believe that you do. I could be 100% wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure you do. After we do the Max Melee setup, I'm going to give it a go in Max Range as well with the new Venator ring, as well as the ZCB for the spec weapon, which we didn't have last year when we were testing. After that, I'm going to go down to a mid-range setup. I'm going to do probably Bandos with the Dragon Hunter Lance, or maybe even just like a Dragon Hunter crossbow with some Carols. A mid-tier setup. Not cheap by any means, but definitely not as expensive as this. And then finally, we'll go with an absolute budget setup, just a blowpipe, black D-hide, and see how far we can get, how many kills we can get per hour, how much GP we can expect per hour. And then to finish it all off, I'm going the absolute maximum. I'm going to go full Max Melee. I'm going to have all 10 of my accounts outside with spec transfer, with healing items, anything we can possibly do to get the maximum amount of kills per hour. I'm not even going to pick up the loot. We're just going to see how many kills I can get if I was to say go for a pet hunt. Obviously, you would always pick up the loot in the pet hunt because Vorkath drops a lot of GP. But, you know, we're just going to test it out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Put a cheeky little hour on the clock, and as they say in showbiz, let's fornicate this rectum. Man, Vorkath is just a nice little treat, dude. It's not a boss that I could sit here and just camp out. I just couldn't do it, you know? It's like too boring to just camp, but it's a nice little treat to just, you know, do a couple of hours here and there. And the nice thing about doing a Vorkath video every single year is I'll just, over time, passively get the pet. I don't have to sit here and camp for the Vorkath pet. I'll just probably get it by 2029. I promise my computer froze, okay? I promise my computer froze. That was not me. I swear. I just hit a 90. And it wasn't even my max. What the fuck? It's gonna be the last kill of the hour in Max Melee. Here we go. Let's get... What is that? Battle Stars and Dragon Arrow Tips. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say no with those. And a scaly blue D-hide to boot. Go on. So in that hour, we managed to get 30 kills. I'm not sure how many that is compared to last year. I'll compare them at the end of the video. But 30 kills, 60 superior dragon hides. We got 4.3 mil in loot. What? Now, according to the wiki, you can get 35 kills an hour here at Vorkath, which I'm literally in absolute max melee. There's just no way they're getting 5 extra kills here. There's no chance. But also, according to the wiki, for 30 kills, we should have expected 3.8 mil in loot. We got 4.4. So a little bit extra in loot than we should have expected. That being said, the supply costs come from just the potions in this one, and that comes out to about 300k. So we made about 4 mil in that hour, 4.1 mil at Vorkath. If we went on rate, we obviously got a bit lucky with the dragon plate skirts and stuff like that. If we went on rate, we would have got about 3.8 minus the 300. So 3.5 mil profit, which is quite a bit more than we got as Zulrah. So smashing Zulrah is Vorkath in this department. However, we're going to go test it out in max range. See if we can maybe get more kills per hour. I'm a little skeptical that we'll get more kills per hour, but we'll have to see. Got to pick myself up a Dragonfire Ward. And for some reason, I don't have a Dragon Hunter crossbow in the bank. So we're going to have to get that, as well as some Ruby Dragon Bolts and some Diamond Dragon Bolts. But before we get into the range method, guys, a quick word from today's sponsor, Creator Crafted. If you don't already know Creator Crafted, you've been living under a rock. They're responsible for making the only officially Jagex licensed LED signs on the market. These LED signs look absolutely incredible. My personal favorite is the Twisted Bow. I would love to show you my Creator Crafted LED sign, the skills icon, but I like to make other people in my life happy, so I gave mine to my good friend Katarina. And when I asked her what she thought about the Creator Crafted LED sign, she just sent me this picture. And if that doesn't sell you on the product, I don't know what will. Creator Crafted have just dropped a new range of LED signs, including an Infernal Cape. I know some of you don't have one of those. And just for you guys, Creator Crafted have put on a special discount. You can get 10% off by using the code EVScape or clicking on my link in the description. We've had a lot of support on the channel recently, guys, and if you want to help support the channel some more, getting one of these signs will massively help me out. So check out Creator Crafted once again using the link in the description. Thanks again to Creator Crafted for sponsoring today's video. There we go. There is our ranged gear setup. We're going to go in with the Zarite crossbow spec. We could probably get a light bearer going on. Maybe not, maybe not. We're going to test out the Venator ring because it wasn't around last year. I mean, neither was the light bearer, but we're going to go ahead and reset the loot tracker. Not deleting everything this time. Thank God. And we're ready to rumble with 1 hour of the maximum range setup. Let's see if we can get more than 30 kills. Just about to finish the first trip up here with range. And I've come to the realization that we're in an anguish. Sort of a salve amulet, so I have to swap that over when I get to the bank. That is not an ideal situation whatsoever. What? Dude, I just got a 54-second kill. I'm pretty sure that's the Grandmaster time. Don't quote me on that, but I wasn't even trying just then. I just randomly got the Grandmaster time. What is that? All right, that is the end of the hour in max range here at Vorkath. And as we can see, only got 27 kills that hour. The wiki says we can get 30. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just assuming that the wiki is like completely off because, you know, it's ran by players. You know what I mean? They decide how many kills per hour they think that they should get. And it's definitely not 30. There's no way. We don't really need to go into how much we made for this because obviously the bolts cost and we got less kills. So melee is going to be better. You get more kills per hour and less in supply costs. But just for the sake of the video, we spent 177,000 GP in bolts. Plus, we also used the same amount of supplies as the melee setup. So around 300k worth. So 3.5 mil made from the drops. Spent about 500k in bolts. Still 3 mil profit per hour. Which once again is not too bad. It is still better than Zulrah, which, you know, is really disappointing and sad and makes me want to cry. All right, it's time to give it a crack in some relatively mid-tier gear. We'll do a budget one after, but this is what I've gone for with the mid-tier gear. Osmumten's Fang, the Bandos Chestplate, Bandos Tassets, Dragonfire Shield, Dragon Boots, Brimstone Ring, and the Serp Helm with the Salve Amulets. If we go ahead and have a look at how much that costs. So this is a 98 million GP setup. So not cheap by any means. Definitely not cheap. 100 mil is a lot of gold, but this is a mid-tier setup you'd probably expect to use if you were killing Vorkath and you didn't have max gear. This is a very reasonable setup. Otherwise, you could go for a Dragon Hunter crossbow with the ward and maybe just some black D-hide or something along those lines. An obvious upgrade to this is the Dragon Hunter Lance. That's another 25 mil on top of that. But Fang, very, very good starting weapon. So we're going to chuck 1 hour on the clock. We're going to do 1 hour of Vorkath in a mid-tier setup, see how many kills we get. Not really going to be keeping track of the supplies because, I mean, the supplies are the same as the other setup. So it'll be 300k in supplies we're going to spend on this one. And we'll see how many kills we can manage to get in the hour. Let's get into it. I said earlier that Vorkath is just like a nice treat, you know? I can't camp the boss. And I really fucking meant that because it has been This is 2 hours and 10 minutes I've been at this fucking boss for, and I'm already so sick of it. Like, I would love to just do 1 hour of Vorkath every month, man. That would be nice. 3 hours in a row? And it's not even in a row. Like, it is for you guys, but I went to bed in between, and I've just like, I just don't want to do this anymore. This boss stinks. Good money, though. We're coming towards the... We're coming towards the end of the hour with the mid-tier setup. And I just looked down and I was like, wow, my anti-poison's about to run out. And I haven't been venomed. That's so lucky. I'm wearing a fucking Serp helm. I have been for the entire hour. I can't get venomed. And I've been sipping a fucking anti-venom every 5 minutes. All right, that's gonna be the last kill of the hour we have done with the mid-tier setup. And I should only get 24 kills in the mid-tier setup. That is not good at all. In terms of profit, we made 3.2 mil GP in gross profit. And then after supply cost, which come out to about 300K, that puts us about 2.9 mil. So only slightly worse than the max range setup. Actually, that's about the same as the max range setup. Of course, the max range setup has higher supply costs. So a couple less kills per hour with the mid-tier melee setup, but around the same profit per hour as the range setup. So not too bad at all. Now we're going to go ahead and do a very low tier setup. All right, this is going to be our very, very budget setup. We've got the Serp helm again with the Toxic Blowpipe, Amulet of Fury, Snakeskin boots, Brimstone ring, Barrow's gloves, and Adamant darts inside the Toxic Blowpipe. Very budget setup. If we go ahead and have a look, it says 34 mil. Well, that's because I have 117,000 Chaos runes. Wait. How much of these were? That's 11 mil. So this is a 20 mil setup. There's no way. 3 mil, 3 mil, 3 mil, 3 mil. That seems like 12 mil to me. I don't know where the extra GPs come from, but it's around a 12 mil setup we've got here with the Toxic Blowpipe, with the Adamant darts. We could always swap out the Serp helm for something else. I'm just using it for convenience here. But we're going to see how many kills we can get per hour in this setup. I'm going to go ahead and reset the loot tracker this time so I don't forget. And let's see if the low tier setup can hold its own. My guess, probably not. You know, I got to stop doing this, dude. Why do I have a Fury on? I just went through a big fucking spiel about the Fury and it's just, you're supposed to have a salve on. What? Why am I incapable of realizing this? All right, that's much better. This kill should go a lot quicker. The first one took me 3 minutes 28, bro. If kills are going to take me that long, the budget setup is going to be cat meat. Yeah, minute 50 for that last kill. Much, much better. Okie dokie, that is the end of the 1 hour in the budget gear. And I gotta say, not great, ladies and gents. So we ended up with 18 kills after that 1 hour, 2.5 mil in loot. Used about 400 Addy darts, which is about 600 scales in the blowpipe, plus all of the restores and the extended anti-fires and range potions and stuff like that. Looking at about 400 to 500K in supplies for that 1 hour, which will put us at about 2 mil profit, which nothing to slouch on. 2 mil profit with gear that is worth 10 mil is actually insane. But I would not recommend doing Vorkath in gear this bad. But if you really want to do Vorkath, this is definitely going to be okay. And it's only going to take you like 25 hours to be able to upgrade to a Dragon Hunter crossbow or a Dragon Hunter lance, which will be much better kills per hour. But all in all, Vorkath, still very good money per kill, very good money per hour. What we're going to test out now is if you're going for the pet, if you just want to get the absolute maximum kills per hour, how many can you get? So we are in the absolute maximum gear for not only range, but also melee. We have both gear setups. We have the Void Waker for the spec. We're going to be entering in, doing ranged attacks because the Ruby Bolts can hit 110. And as soon as the Ruby Bolts can't hit 110, as soon as they go down to about 90 damage, around 300 hit points, I'm going to be switching to the Dragon Hunter Lance. We're going to be double Void Waker spec in, just getting it killed as quick as possible. But on top of that, I have all 9 of my alt accounts here with spec transfer, heal other, pot share. So as soon as I come out of the kill, as soon as I'm finished with the kill, I walk outside. I don't even bother picking up the loot. I immediately get spec transfer and restore pot applied to my character. And then I can just jump immediately straight back into the kill. We can get as many as we possibly can this hour. Absolutely zooming. Let's do it. 1 hour on the clock. Resetting the loot for Vorkath. Let's get this bread, baby. Well, we're not going to get any bread. We're not getting any bread, but we'll get a lot of kills for sure. I'm 30 minutes in and I've done 9 kills. Yeah, keeping up with like getting out and doing the spec transfer and stuff like that. It's not really equating to any more kills, to be honest. It's if anything, hindering me. So I think the max gear setup is just going to be melee at this point, and we've already got a test up for the melee. It was 31 kills, I think, which is probably the best you can get. And that is even whilst you're picking up the loot. So you can't really complain with that, can you? So all in all, here we are on the expected value channel. Of course, we're going to talk about some numbers. Vorkath in 2024, the max melee setup was 30 kills per hour. Apparently, according to the wiki, you can get 35 kills per hour. I think they're chatting absolute was. I was in max gear. I'm a pretty decent PVMer. 5 extra kills on top of that? Don't think so. 2? I'd say sure, but 5? Not a chance. We did make 4 mil in actual profit. However, we made more than we're supposed to. It should have been 3.5 mil profit in expected value. The max range setup, 27 kills per hour. Once again, wiki said 30. I can agree with that. We can probably push 30 with the max range setup. However, I got 27. We made 3 mil profit actually, and we were expecting 3 mil in profit. So we got on rate there. Now, as you can see, in 2020, I did a video on Vorkath and it was 3.2 mil an hour profit in max range. And back then I got way less kills an hour than 27. It was like 22 kills per hour. So the prices of everything have clearly gone down. We made way more money back in 2020. And then for the max melee, we got 2.6 mil an hour profit when we now expect 3.5 mil an hour profit. So it's gone up massively with the max melee, considering since 2021, we've had Torva, we've had the Altor ring, all of those extra upgrades. So Vorkath has gotten quite a bit better in the last 3 years. Now for the mid-tier melee setup, 24 kills per hour. That was 2.6 mil profit, 2.7 mil in expected value, which is around the same as the max melee from 2021, which is coincidental because they're essentially the same gear. The only difference in my gear from 2021 is I used the Lance. In this setup, I used the Fang. So essentially the same profit, essentially the same kills per hour. And then of course we used the budget gear setup, 18 kills per hour, 2 mil profit, 1.9 mil in expected value. And if we finally compare that to the Zulrah that we did last week, the max gear setup for Zulrah, 3.2 mil an hour profit, compared to 3.5 mil here at Vorkath in max melee. So if you're going with the schmaximum setup for the most amount of profit, Vorkath slightly inches out Zulrah, just slightly. However, when you get down to the mid-tier setups, Vorkath is so much better. 2.7 million in expected value compared to the 1.1 million we got in the mid-tier setup for Zulrah. And then somehow the Zulrah budget setup was 1.2 mil an hour compared to the budget setup of 1.9 mil an hour at Vorkath. So if you're picking between Zulrah and Vorkath in 2024, the answer is definitely pick Vorkath. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy. I have got a huge announcement coming in the next video, so make sure you guys look out for that one. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get 200,000 subscribers in 2024, so please, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video very, very soon. Take it easy. Check out Creative Crafted once again using the link in the description. Thanks again to Creative Crafted for sponsoring today's video.